Back, we're going to go over the rules of exponents that you have to live by. So first thing we have to look at is any exponent that is 0 becomes 1. So anything to the 0 exponent, or anything that has a 0 as an exponent, is equal to 1 as long as a is not equal to 0. When you have the same base, a, and you're dividing, you subtract your exponents. When you have the same base and you're multiplying, you add your exponents. When you have a fraction raised to a power, you distribute that exponent to both numerator and denominator. And down here, here's the most important thing, is anything to the negative exponent turns into 1 over a to the n, where n's now going to be positive. I'll get into an example like that later. And if you have a times b all raised to the n power, you have to distribute n to both a and b. And then if you have a to the m power being raised to the n power, you multiply your exponents. I want to go over the a to the negative power. So if we have x to the negative fifth, it now becomes 1 over x to the fifth. If you have 3 to the negative third, it's not negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. It now becomes 1 over 3 to the third, which is 1 over 27. So those are the rules to live by with exponents. We're going to do a couple of examples, 3 of them. First one, we want to multiply. So we have the same base for a. So we have 5 times negative 3, and then we have a to the third, a to the negative fourth. So we have 5 times negative 3, which is negative 15, and then when we're multiplying with the same base, we add our exponents. So it now becomes a3 plus negative 4, which now becomes negative 15, a to the negative 1. Remember, we added our exponents. Remember, anything to the negative 1 power becomes a fraction. So we have negative 15 all over a. The reason why negative 15 is not in the denominator, because it's just the a that is being raised to negative power, not the negative 15. So there's our final answer. Again, these questions would say simplify. Here is another example. So we have to go to negative 4 raised to the second power, so we're distributing this 2, which means we're multiplying, so negative 4 to the second power, x to the negative 6, because negative 3 times 2 is negative 6, and then we have y to the 10th, which becomes negative 2 times negative, or negative 4 times negative 4 will become positive 16. So we have 16 y10 over x6. And let's do an example with subtraction. So when we subtracting our exponents, I should say, so we're actually dividing, so we subtract our exponents. So I'm going to rewrite it as 4a to the first, b to the sixth, c to the third, all over 1a 5, b 1, c 3. I add the 1's in there just to emphasize that there is an exponent. So 4 divided by 1 is 4. 1 minus 5 is negative 4. So since we have a negative as a result when we subtract, so it's a to the negative 4, you should realize that it goes in the denominator when we do the next step. 6 minus 1 is 5, positive, and then C0. So we subtracted. Next step. Remember, c to the 0 will be 1 because it has a 0 exponent. Anything to the 0 exponent is 1. So now we have 4b5 all over a to the fourth. And there's our final answer. If you have any questions about this, come see me before school, after school, or send me an email.